Right. A very warm welcome to our channel, Sri Venkateswara Bank Coaching Center, Nandyala. So, for more videos, like and subscribe our channel here, SVBCCNDL. Okay. So, let's check the next example here. So, on what sum will the difference between simple interest and compound interest for 3 years at rate of 5% per annum amount to 24.40? The last two examples, whatever you have done with respect to the 2 years difference, now it's a 3 years difference. Look at the point what they said. Uh, on what sum the difference between simple interest and compound interest for 3 years at a rate of 5% per annum, it gives 24.40. So for 3 years we are getting this difference at a rate of 5%. What is the sum? Basically, what is the formula? For 3 years, look at here, D is equal to P R square into 300 plus R by 100 cube. This is the formula. So I know the difference amount D, I know here, and I require P value and the given R also. R is nothing but 5%. Let's substitute. D is nothing but 24.40. I'll write here. And P that we have to calculate, R square, that is 5 5s are 25, and 300, and that is nothing but 5, 305. R is 5. 100 cube, I'll break into 100 into 100 into 100. So let's cancel maximum values. 25 ones are 25, fours are 100. And if I take this value, I'll substitute all the values this side. So 4 I'm writing directly, 24.40. If I multiply with the 100, it will become 2440. After that, one more 100 by 305. So look at here, 305 is the only chance to cancel. 5, 4 anyway it doesn't cancel, and 100 we don't cancel. Let's check 305 with this case. Why? Because 5 ending na. Let's check this case. We'll go for 5 6s are 30, 5 ones are 61. I can cancel. And here if you go for here, uh, 5 fours are 20, and you will be left over for, 4, and we can take it as next case 44. 5 eights are 40, and what we have next case again, it will be 8 and 488. I think 60 means 6 eights are 8, 48, and 1 8 are, so directly I can cancel na. 61 eights are 488. So first I have cancel 8, after that I have cancelled 61 directly. So finally what I left over here, I got 8, here 100, here 4. So 4 eights are 32, 32 into 100, I'll get 3200. So 4 into 8, 32, 3200, I'll get 3200. Simply that is the value. So this is the formula. D is equal to PR square into 300 plus R by 100 cube, where D is 24.40 and P I have to find out, and R is nothing but 5 square. If I substitute that value, finally I got P is 3200. So this is how we are substituting formula. Clear? Next one. What will be the difference between simple interest and compound interest? What will be the difference between simple interest and compound interest on a sum of 100 rupees after 4 years? After 4 years, look at last 3 are examples. Whatever you are taking, difference for 2 years we have taken, difference for 3 years we have taken, but here the difference they're asking for 4 years. How to take this case? So I'll explain that point also. When they ask you 4 years, what you do is nothing but calculate simple interest for 4 years and calculate compound interest 4 years. After that, take the difference on 100. Let's go for at a rate of 10%. Generally, if you go for simple interest, every year you will get 10%, then 4 years will get 40%. So 40% is 40% we have to calculate on 100. 40% on 100 is 40 rupees. It's very simple, simple interest. 10% on that, it will be 10. So like that, 4 years will get 4 tens are 40%. 40% is 40 rupees. Easily I can take it. But the compound interest will take 4 continuous percentage changes. Na? How you take that case? Let's check. So 10% we do first time, again 10%, again 10%, again 10%, again 10%. We have to take it 4 continuous percentage changes. This is the case we have taken. Let's take 4 continuous percentage changes on 100. It will be easy for you. I'll do it here. So if you go for 4 continuous percentage changes on 100, how you take that cases? On 100, if I take it first case, if you go for first year, 10% on 100, which will be 10, which I get 110, 1 year is over. Again next year, 10% on, now we have to take it on 110. 10% on 110 is 11, which is 121. So next case again 10%. 10% on 121, 10% on 121 is 12.1. So which is 133.1. So I'll continue here. Third case. On 133.1, I have to take it fourth case. Now we have to take it 10% on 133.1. Okay, 10% here is 10 on 110. 10% on 110 is basically 11, which you get 121. 10% on 121, which is 12.1. And again 10% on 133.1, which is 13.31. So which I got 146.41, which I got 146.41. So 100 is the sum now. So the compound interest I'll get here is nothing but 46.41. So simple interest I got is 40 rupees. Compound interest I got is 46.41. Let's understand. I got 40 rupees simple interest. I got 46.41 rupees compound interest. Actually, what is the difference between the two? 6.41. So 10% continuously I'm doing 4 times here. Continuously if I do it 4 times, I'll get 146.41. So the interest will get here 46.41. But the simple interest I got 40. The difference between both the cases is 6.41. Okay now. So this is how we are taking 4 years. If they ask you 4 years, as I said, calculate simple interest for 4 years and calculate compound interest for 4 years and add the two cases. So that means take the difference between two cases. Next one, understand this one. The simple interest on a certain sum for 3 years at a rate of 8% per annum is half of the compound interest on 4,000 for 2 years at a rate of 10% per annum. The sum placed on the simple interest is uh, the simple interest on a sum of money for 3 years at a rate of 8% per annum. For 3 years at a rate of 8% per annum is half of the compound interest on 4,000 for 2 years at a rate of 10% per annum. So whatever the simple interest will get in this case, it will be half when you compare to whatever the compound interest will get here. Understand the question? The simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at a rate of 8% per annum. That means on a certain sum I don't know now, let sum I'll take it 100%. That is the unknown factor what they're asking to find out. On this one, for 3 years at a rate of 8% per annum. Each year 8% means 3 years, how much you get it? 24%. That means whatever the 24% will get here. So I'll write that 24% here. That 24% whatever you get on the simple interest case, that will be half of whatever the compound interest amount I'll get in the second case, this case. Whatever the compound interest I'll get here. So for 2 years at a rate of 10%. 10% if I do it 2 times, I'll get 21%. That you done in a lot of examples like that. Na? 10 plus 10 plus 10 divided by. So 21% on 4,000. That's what you have to get it. So 21% on 4,000, that is the compound interest. 21% means each 1% is 40. So 21% means 21 into 40, which is 840. So this will be the amount. So this will be the amount. So that 24% is what 21% is 840. That means whatever the simple interest on get this particular sum, that means that is 24%, that is equal to half of the compound interest in the second case. Half of what is the compound interest I get here? 840. So that 24% is equal to half of 840, which is 420. If 24% is 420, I require 100% is how much? That is the sum. If 24% is 420, can I get the 100% here? We can go for cross multiplication. 420 by 24, which gives 1%. If I multiply with the 100, I'll get the answer. So 24% is 420. I require 100. Cross multiplication 420 by 24. How we do it? Let's check. I think 4 multiples. 4 105s, 4 sixes. And still what I can take it here. So I can cancel 3 twos, 335s. And 3500 by 2, 3500 by 2 means which I get 1750. 35 into 100, 3500, 35 by 100 my 2 means 1750. Look at here, if you solve that, if at 24% is 420, so 1% is 420 by 24. If I write into 100, so if I solve that, I'll got 1750. Look at, so it's very simple here. They're comparing simple interest in the first case with the compound interest in the second case. What is the simple in the first case? Whatever the 8% for 3 years, that will be 24%. So 24% of a particular sum is equal to half of the compound interest in the second case. That is on 4,000 for 2 years at 10%. 10% for 2 years, if I do compound interest, I'll get 21%. 21% on 4,000 is 840. Half of 840 is 420. If that 24% is 420, what is the 100%? So 100% I'll get 1750. Look at the next one. On a certain sum of rate of interest, a sum of 5,000 becomes 16,200 in certain years. at component is in half the time given the sum will become how much? Uh, on a certain rate of interest, what is the point they're saying? On certain rate of interest, a sum of 5,000 becomes 16,200 in certain years. So time period they given, so n years at a particular rate of interest. Clear? Now in half of the given time, so whatever the time you are taking, n years if I take it, in that half of the time period you have to take it. Clear? And how much the sum will become, they're asking how much the sum will become. Look at here, 5,000 is becoming 16,200 means how much is increasing? 11,200 is increasing. Clear? So but that 11,200 is increasing in n years at a rate of r%, but here time period also unknown factor, rate of interest also unknown factor. Actually if you know one of them, both are two unknown factors here. That means if I know the rate of interest, I can say how many years it is. Otherwise if I say what is the rate of interest, I can say how many years it is. So one thing definitely has to know, if I know the rate of interest, I can say the time period, or if I know the time period, I can say rate of interest, but I don't know the time period, I don't know the rate of interest. Basically both are unknown factors. So if I know any one of the cases, I can say at what rate it is increasing, in which time it is increasing, but I don't know the time period, I don't know the rate of interest. Then if I take half of the time also without knowing rate of interest, I cannot do anything, nah? So for that, first of all, whether you have to know time period, whether you have to know rate of interest, one of the things you have to know, but both are unknown factors here. So without knowing any time period or rate of interest, if you know one of them, so definitely I can do it, but without knowing that cases, we cannot do anything, na? That's why the answer here, it is nothing but cannot be determined. So the answer is here, cannot be determined. Clear? So got an idea how we are taking that. So totally, uh, that is how we are taking simple interest and compound interest case here. So when you are taking simple interest and compound interest case, always remember one point. So we are taking percentage analysis. Whether you done simple interest, there also we have done percentage analysis. Whatever you done compound interest, also we have done percentage analysis. Compound interest means we are taking continuous percentage changes. Simple interest means directly we are taking what is the percentage changes will occur. So if you do with the percentage analysis, the simple interest and compound interest, it will be very easy. Only thing you require that percentage analysis when you are taking simple interest and compound interest. That's it. If you understand that percentage analysis, taking questions on the simple interest and compound interest is always very easy. Clear?